The Acolyte, episode 4. Why am I still watching this mess? So it starts out with a conversation between Osha and Jackie, and they've apparently um worked everything out and became friends off screen. So they have a goodbye where, uh Osha suggests that she meet up with Jackie in a cantina to talk about trade stories about their old master sometime because they're just old buddies now. Uh, and then OSHA is done with being investigated for her sister's murders, so she's just gonna leave Coruscant. End of story. Great. In the show. Of course not. So then there's a Jedi Council meeting, and Kai Adaimande is aged up for no reason, or it exists back then for no reason. So now he's like gonna be older in the Phantom Menace and the Clone Wars for you know, why not? There's only 4 named Ceruleans in lore, so, why not just have a new member of the species be on the Jedi Council? Nah, let's just have him there and be older. We'll retcon it anyway. But, it's just the lack of care, you know, like, they could write new characters, right? It's universe a whole universe of planets, right? Like I'll get to it in a second, but they make up new planets every episode. Why couldn't they just have more characters instead of just having this tiny group of named characters show up everywhere? Okay. Anyway, so there's a Jedi Council meeting where like um somehow we're hearing for the first time that the mission with the little girls in the fire and everything went badly. It's like, wouldn't this have been pertinent news before uh some of the Jedis that were on that mission ended up getting murdered, Like it feels like before, getting sent out to find the girl that is potentially going to murder you, that you might want to let your boss know that that's a possibility. But whatever, it's like, hey, hey, you, you, yeah, no. And then it's like, okay, conversation's over. Go look for her again, right? Because you know, because hey, we've got a cast. We can't we can't like back out of the plot now. We gotta just send the characters we've already established places, even if we have conversations in the show about how maybe that's not the best idea. So of course he's like, hey, I'm gonna go look for your sister. Uh, you know, why don't you come with me, civilian? Like, just come on official Jedi business because you know her, and Jedi's love a good redemption arc, so that's gonna be good, a good cinema, right? So yeah, you know, Osha was trying to slip out the back and not even say goodbye to him, and now she's signed back up for a mission because she's the main character of the show. So they show them traveling to a planet of Kofar looking for Kalnaka, but this is very important. Before we can go and look for the Wookiee, we have to know, we must know Basil the Fandar's pronouns. This is very important information. Stop the whole show. Like, I I didn't know. I didn't know before watching the show that it was, I thought people were exaggerating. I didn't. I went into the show cold. I didn't watch any interviews or anything like leading up to it. I had no idea, and I took the show at face value. The first couple of episodes I was watching, and I'm learning in real time what's going on behind the scenes, and I understand why everybody's upset about it. Like, I still think the show fails on its own merits, so that's what I'm going to discuss. But it's frustrating why it's failing. Like, if the story if the story even came second, you know? It's like the story takes a back seat, and that's really frustrating. So, anyway, we go to Kofar, which looks just like Kashyyyk, but it's not Kashyyyk, so it makes sense because Kashyyyk are where Wookiees live, so of course Kanaka the Wookiee is gonna be on Kofar because, it's the proper environment for a Wookiee. Who cares at this point, right? Um, so May and Kamir are looking for Kalnaka on Kofar, and they're walking through the woods, and May realizes that she has a change of heart halfway into her vengeance killing plan. That her sister being alive changes everything because she no longer wants to murder the people that were present when she tried to murder her own sister. Sure, you know, redemption arc started. So she even though Kamir is supposedly there to support her, she leaves him hanging on a tree because we needed the character to be off screen because oh no, is Kamir gonna be the not Sith Lord? Oh no, who could have seen that coming? The creepy potions master that seems to know like everything that's going on behind the scenes and seems to like, know her master even though he's like does poisons and isn't has never shown that he was also trained as a Jedi or as force user or something. Cool. Yeah. You can really keep a tight lid on the on on those reveals, can't you? Maybe it's somebody else. You know, maybe it's somebody they haven't even shown. Who knows? Who like honestly, like who cares? And I don't mean that sarcastically. I mean, does anybody working on the show care about the show itself? Like it I'm so frustrated by it. So she leaves Kamir hanging and makes it to where Kalnaka had been living just and finds that I didn't get my Wookiee punch fight and I'm not surprised, but I'm still disappointed. I really wanted to see May try to square up with a Jedi Wookiee. Like, you write a Jedi Wookiee into lore and you don't show him fight like a Jedi, not even once. Not surprised. Supposedly, they off-screened him for pacing, but they had time to have you know, conversations about other things. So I want to talk a little bit about Kafar. So, I kept getting like children's natural history museum vibes with the set. Like they built all of these like trees and stuff for them to walk through, and you know, and there was an umber moth on a tree that May touches, and then it flies off and flies back, and she just stands there like a girl with like multiple years of Jedi training who has a blaster pistol on her and is like, "Oh no, my former master needs to save me from this bug thing." And then, he cuts it down with no problem. They showed a bunch of them on trees, so I'm guessing there's going to be some Umbra my Jedi lightsaber rave fight like later on. I will be disappointed if they don't do that, but not surprised because again, like this is just a show full of establishing shots and awkward dialogue. Like very little has actually happened. There's a shot or two in like some little scrapes, but where's the show? So of course, the Jedi's find May in Kilnaka's house. He has already been off screened, and then big shock, her master shows up behind them, and that's it. A 23-minute episode ends in a cliffhanger. It's like, oh no, Kamir, the Sith Lord, who we've already established was on the planet. Like he did the job for her, and now he's gonna come after her, and they're gonna have to save her, and redemption arc. Both girls are gonna be Jedi's. This show is so stupid. I'm gonna watch episode what 5. tonight. I I there's only like maybe 2 more in the season. Why did they do this? They spent $180 million on the show. They wasted the Star Wars IP. Where's the show? I'm so disappointed. Take care.